This is episode 8, and today we're going to be talking about the Raptors. Last night, they pulled off an impressive victory, and they are now one game away from clinching. Yes, that's right. The Raptors are one game away from clinching a playoff spot.
The Raptors, this team right here.
It's been a team that sucked for the last God knows how many years, is one game away from clinching a playoff spot. How do you guys feel about this?
It's great. You know, last time I watched the Raptors game, Chris Bosh was the top guy there, and that was 06, and they lost first round to Vince Carter in the Nets. So that was a long time ago. It was about 8 years ago. So, woo-wee! You know, man, that making the playoffs, it's a good feeling.
Yeah, you know, I think these guys deserve it. You know what I mean? Dwayne Casey, you know, coached this team very well, and I love to see, you know, JV in the playoffs, Lowry, DeRozan, and Ross, see what they can do, and yeah, this franchise deserves it, and I hope they can get a division title as well.
Amen.
Yeah, you know, this team has really come a long way. They're not the best team with regards to talent, but when they all work hard and play together, they get it done, and they look really good while doing it. You know, Amir Johnson over here he's been playing great this year, huge. Terrence Ross, when he's available, Lowry, DeRozan, they're just all well playing, and you know they play the team and they get it done.
Impressive too how they can already get their second division title, and all it took was getting rid of Bargnani and Rudy Gay.
That whole Rudy Gay thing was stupid, man. Just picking him up. He would take too many field goal attempts. He would just every time he had a shoot. Miss.
8 for 25 every game.
Yeah, it's brutal, man.
Nice stat. That's
So you got Bargnani, Mr. I can't rebound, but I'm going to go eat my primo pasta. So now the next question I have, how far do these Raptors go?
Again, it depends who they face. I really don't like their chances against only a handful, maybe two teams. I could say Brooklyn, because they have a lot of experience there. They have Kevin Garnett there, Paul Pierce. They have a lot of veteran-like guys there. And, of course, another team I can't really see them beating is Miami. Miami's been a team where they're not fair. They have Ray Allen. They have LeBron James, you know, Dwayne Wade, Chris Bosh. It's not fair, really. But how far do they go? They can go to the finals, I think. If Lowry and Valanciunas and DeRozan play the way they've been playing, I think they could go.
You know, I don't know, man. Realistically, for me, I'll say second round, you know, just because you got Indiana, Miami, and Brooklyn could cause a couple of problems, you know, just based on their experience. But, you know, the Raptors, they could beat anyone in the Eastern Conference as long as they can play well. They always play good with these teams, good defense, obviously, but I'd say second round, maybe third round if, I don't know, Miami or Indiana gets upset by someone.
Gotta believe, man.
Now, correct me if I am wrong. They can't play Brooklyn because they just got too much playoff experience.
Oh, but they can.
But if they play a team like Indiana, who has to rely on practically only Paul George, I think they can beat them. That's why I think they can get to a conference final if they don't play Brooklyn in the first round.
Yeah, I'll have to agree with that.
Yeah.
That's why, because Brooklyn, all those old guys through the season, once they go to the playoffs, are a whole new team. And I think that third spot in the East is going to be crucial to see if this team can go to possibly the conference final and maybe even the NBA finals if they can avoid Miami and Brooklyn. The next thing, who on this team do you say is the MVP?
Oh man, there's so many good players. Ever since Rudy Gay has he's left the team, I don't know what's happened with Kyle Lowry. He's been killing it every game.
Yeah.
But then you have another guy, DeMar DeRozan, who's been playing phenomenal.
All-star.
Then like a guy like Valanciunas, Terrence Ross in the 51-point game. That's mental, but okay. But overall, I think I'll have to go with DeMar DeRozan. He's just night in, night out. I think he's averaging about 23 a game. It's pretty good for him, and I think he deserves it.
Yeah, for me, I like the combination of DeRozan and Lowry, but out of the two, I'd probably pick Lowry to be the MVP. You know, the guy just came out of nowhere. We saw what he kind of had last season, but just right now, he's just telling the guys how it is on the court, expressing his leadership, and just winning the games when it matters. You know, he always comes comes through in the end. And you know, I love when he draws those charges. It's just he has a good mental game. That guy, good mental game.
You know, for me, it's a toss-up. I could flip a coin between Lowry and DeRozan, the way they're both playing. And DeRozan has been playing absolutely ridiculous for a guy that is still very young and has to develop as a player. And Lowry, he leads the league in charges. And it's amazing because how he sells them so well and how he gets the foul every time. And, you know, it's key for the Raptors because, you know, if they're suffering in a game, he'll draw that foul, get the 2 buckets, and he puts them back in the game. So quite frankly, I'd rather just flip a coin, heads or tails, and see who would be.
If I had to say most surprising, I gave it to Lowry. I think just MVP all around. We knew that DeRozan had it in him. I've always personally liked DeRozan, so yeah, I gave it to DeRozan.
I'm going to go way off the board here. I'm not going to go with the player.
Oh.
I'm going to go to the man in charge. For the MVP of the Raptors, I'm going with the GM, Masai Ujiri.
I like it. I like
Just
it.
what he was able to do with this team that sucked that much last year. Got rid of Bargnani. He took a ransom from the Knicks. He got a first rounder out of it for Bargnani, who can't rebound.
2 second rounders too.
He got rid of Rudy Gay, who God knows was like that contract, whoever gave that to him. And this team just turned around from then. So I say Masai Ujiri, MVP for the Raptors.
I believe in Masai.
We all believe in Masai.
And now the last question. LeBron, Durant, and a lot of other players in this league have been contending for that MVP race. Who gets it this year?
Oh my goodness. Hardest question to ask any fan in the NBA. You have like 3-4 guys that really stick out in my mind. You know, you have Durant, you have James, you have Paul George, you have Westbrook. You have so many guys who have just been playing phenomenal. Even a guy like John Wall, he's pretty good, and DeRozan, all those guys. But I think I'll probably have to go with LeBron James again. Guy's just phenomenal. He's the best player in the league, I think. You could argue him and Durant. They go toe-to-toe, kind of like with, you know, like Stamkos Tavares in hockey. You know, they kind of go toe-to-toe. But I would just have to go with LeBron James. He's just, it's phenomenal. But another guy I would not cancel out in the MVP would be Carmelo Anthony.
Yeah, I'd probably say, you know, some guys you could consider LeBron, Durant, Melo, and even Kevin Love too. He's been putting up some good numbers, but for me, I go with King James. I'm sorry, that guy just puts Miami on his back. Bosch can't rebound anymore, so that's been an issue. Wade has a lot of knee problems, so he can't play back-to-backs anymore. So he's just been like helping his team, you know, just solidify a second-place finish. I'm guessing like at the end of the season. So with Greg Oden too, you know, they don't have the most experienced backcourt as well. So he's just the best guy around. I'm sorry.
You know, that's for me MVP. It could be LeBron. It could be Kevin Love, it could be Melo, it could be Durant, it could be Paul George, even James Harden could be in that conversation if you think about it. But, you know, I like Kevin Durant, but I am a LeBron James fan. Kevin Durant is able to do everything and anything. Same with LeBron James, but, you know, I just think Kevin Durant is more versatile than LeBron. You know, he's able to have better defensive numbers than LeBron, possibly better offensive numbers. And, you know, the difference is that Kevin Durant is not dependent on night in and night out, whereas LeBron is. LeBron doesn't get 30 points or 40 points in a game. They'll possibly lose that game, and they will. And, you know, with Durant, he can get 23 points, or even just hit 2 key three-pointers like he did in double overtime against the Raptors, and they win the game, right? So that's why I think, you know, I'd like Kevin Durant as the MVP.
Yeah, I like those guys too, but I would personally go with Kevin Durant as the MVP because, let's face it, Miami's team, if LeBron's off, they got Wade, Bosch, Allen. They have like all of their all-star team.
Chalmers.
Yeah. Even like all those guys even out on the bench too last year. And now when you point it towards Oklahoma's direction, they just got Durant. If Durant's injured, they have to count on Russell Westbrook to carry like the whole team and Ibaka. I'd say they count on Durant more for offense, and what he's able to do offensively, I think, would give him the MVP. So I would give it to Durant.
Overall, all those guys, though, they have so much pressure on themselves. Like Anthony, he's pretty much the only offense in New York.
This team sucks.
This team's brutal.
They're a horrible team.
Like you said with LeBron, if he doesn't get like 30 up to like more than 30, their team's gonna lose because Wade's getting older. He doesn't do as much damage as he once did. Same with Ray Allen. Yes, he gets threes and all that, but he's like age really affects you in the NBA. Like you start slowing down, you start getting more knee problems and more injuries.
Points a game, right?
Yeah,
9 points a game. It's not much, but
if you can't jump in the NBA and you can't run up and down that court,
it'll affect you, man.
you're not gonna be able to do a lot. And like we see in a lot of games, Ray Allen just camps out in the corner, 3-point line, gets the ball, and he'll go 4 for 4.
Yeah, that's it.
There's one thing I want to talk about. Let's say Miami has a terrible postseason. They want to get rid of Chris Bosh. And yep, Dallas has a terrible postseason. Vince Carter's a free agent. Two guys who are the main guys in Toronto. Which guys would you take back?
I'd take back Vince Carter. Take back Vince Carter.
I want your Canada back. I'm sorry.
Insanity.
Insanity. I need Vince Carter back. I just want him and Ross to just combine their dunks together, like in the games.
Nasty.
It'd be a show.
It's the past and the future and the present. Done.
That's a hot take.
That's it.
Oh yeah.
I can only imagine how good that team would be. Vince Carter would provide the experience and the seniority and maturity to show
Who's
to
the guy's name?
guys coming up too, right? So that'd be sick.
All you'd be hearing is jam. That's all you'd be hearing. But yeah, we don't need Bosh, man. We have Valanciunas. I don't think we need Bosh.
Tell Bosh go down to Houston.
Go down memory lane. You're done.
Alright, thanks everybody for watching this video, our episode on Raptors talk and the NBA talk. And watch our other videos, like us on Twitter, our videos, watch our other videos on YouTube. Thank you everyone.
Go Raptors.